Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to Minecraft in our survival world here. You can see we've got some Wandering Trader llamas outside. The Wandering Trader is down in the storage room that we built last episode with this secret entranceway here, which I am still apparently trying to figure out how to use properly. But yeah, this is what we did last episode. Super cool stuff. I still haven't moved my stuff over yet. I know I said I was going to do that in between episodes. Haven't gotten around to doing it just yet. I will do that at some point in today's episode, but what I want to focus on today really is terraforming, landscaping, and just kind of shaping the land around here. So my general plans at the moment for this world is to make the spawn area here, because we are fairly close to spawn, nearish 0, just to make it look super pretty. I don't have any specific plans, but I want to make everything around here look nice, so I am going to be transforming a river of sorts today. Well, this river, it's already here, but I'm going to make it look nicer hopefully, but that's quite a hefty task to begin with, so I think we're going to start off with something a little simpler and make our pond outside the house here look quite nice. I've still got lots more that I want to do, but I thought I'd stop part way through and give you a little bit of an update so it's not all completely finished within the blink of an eye. So over here is how the water is getting from the ocean out here into the pond itself. So I've just carved a little channel through here, gotten rid of our potato farm, and just added in some slabs and stairs and height variations within this little stream here. And then on the edges here we've got some pebbles, aka buttons, and then I've kind of just roughed up the terrain a little bit from where the tide is coming in. I'm sure there's going to be some overflow and it's going to ruin some of this nice green fresh grass, and we're going to have some path blocks and coarse dirt, a bit muddier, and some gravel, and yeah, just kind of making it look a little bit messy. And then over here we've got a little rock pool from where the water will accumulate and then overflow into the pond itself. And then in the actual pond I've just got another few rock formations which I quite like how they look, so I've done a few of them. I can kind of use these as stepping stones if I can jump correctly, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I can only do it from this side. Let's see if I can manage it. Yep, so I can hop across the stream, which is pretty cool. Admittedly only one way, but I won't be doing it that often. It's just a cool little thing. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've done. I've got a bunch of seagrass at the bottom, but I need some more things such as sea pickles, sugarcane, and just, yeah, I need to keep going basically. A few changes have been made here. I've just got one last thing left to do really, which is to wait for a Wandering Trader to show up with a coral trade so that I'm able to regrow some sea pickles, because I currently do not have enough to fill in this whole pond here, so gonna have to wait a little bit for that. But apart from the sea pickles, we are all done here. You can see I've added in some sugar canes and some other crops just going around the outside, some melons and pumpkins as well, and yeah, just making the sides look a little nicer. I believe I've added in a couple more rock formations under the water here, at least I think so. And I've also added in a few lily pads so we can hop around a little easier. I've also added in some kelp down here underneath the water so that it's not all entirely seagrass. I would add in some coral blocks, but I don't have a silk touch tool to harvest them, so I may have to return at a later stage and do that. But for now we've just got some seagrass and some kelp, and there's actually a little trick if you want this kelp to be varying lengths and kind of decide how long it actually grows. So if we just head over to a clear spot here and place it down by pressing F3, you can see over on the right hand side there it shows the age of the kelp. Now a single kelp strand, I suppose we can call it, will grow to age 25. So say we wanted to just keep it at this one block here, we would need to continuously place it down until we got age 25. May take a little while, but you can pretty much mess around with the ages. So this one here will only grow 2 more. Obviously we've got a pretty shallow pond here, so it can't actually grow to a full length. But yeah, just a little tip if you want varying lengths of kelp and kind of want to dictate how it actually grows. Whilst waiting for the Wandering Trader to show up, I did actually move in all my stuff from upstairs to down here, so I'll quickly go through this video just very briefly. Over here is all of my natural resources, kind of, except from these two. These are carved stone, so we've got all of the stone stuff here, we've got some sand, dirt and gravel over here, and then all of the wood types split up into 3 chests. Over on this side we've got resources and like ores and whatnot, tools, armor and anything would go in there, redstone, miscellaneous blocks and miscellaneous blocks. This one is for ones that are shaped like a cube, like any normal block, right? And then the lantern one is for other blocks that aren't in a cube shape that you can actually place down, so beds, carpet, iron bars, that sort of thing. We got food and animal drops in this one, mob drops in this one. This is like flowers, saplings, leaves, any type of that stuff. Anything farming related, so sugarcane, carrot, carrots and all that. And then this is my miscellaneous chest, and for some reason I always use flint as my miscellaneous item. I don't really know why, but I do it every single world I make a storage room in. And then round here is just a few other blocks that I might have a few of. So anything found in the nether, glass, terracotta, wall, and then lighting. Obviously, I do have tons and tons of more storage left to fill up, but I'm not just going to go around placing in the item frames just for the sake of it. I'll wait until I actually need this. At the moment, to use my elevator, I kind of have to very specifically position myself before I can press the button, and even then, sometimes it doesn't work. Maybe I'll get lucky this time and shoot on up, but that's because I can't just straight up push myself into the wall, because if I was to do that, let me just show you real quick. You can probably figure out where I'm going with this, but I would actually just smack my head on the trapdoor. So I think I'm going to get rid of those trapdoors up there. It's probably not going to look as good, bearing in mind we have them over on this side, but just for sake of convenience and how often I'm going to be going down into my storage room, I'm going to get rid of them. Yep, that is 10 times easier. How does that look with some paintings on the wall? I wasn't too big of a fan of just a plain old stripped oak, so I felt like I needed something there, but not too sure how that's looking. You guys can let me know. The other thing I'm thinking possibly we could do is to add in some buttons. I'm not sure. I might leave it as that for now, and maybe you guys can leave me your suggestions. Okay, I'm going to walk you through my plan for our river we're going to be landscaping today. So my original plan was to actually go through here on boat, but I kind of like how this looks a little more, so we're going to scrap that idea, and I'm thinking we're going to have some sort of starting docking area just over here maybe somewhere, but we'll start off in our boat, and then we've got this naturally generated overhanging kind of tunnel, which I really like. Will make it look a little better and connect it up a bit more there, and just pretty up a little bit, I guess. But we'll go underneath here, do something over in that corner as well, and then we'll go round to this river here, and you can see it kind of comes to a stop here. So this part is going to be a little grindy and probably take me a while, considering I'll be doing probably all of it with an iron shovel. Maybe I'll enchant a diamond one, actually. That would probably be smart, but we'll cut a hole in here and continue the river on through, and then we'll place our boat down, which we won't have to do once it's all water. But then we'll continue on around this way, and then over here where the sugarcane is, we're going to make another little docking area, and then we can get to and from the village via boat, which I think is going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to start doing work on some of that. Not too sure what I'm going to start with to begin with, but yeah, that's my plan at least. We will probably do this a few times in the episode today, but let's hop in the boat and I can show you what I've done. So the first thing you notice that has changed is our overhang slash tunnel here. I've made it look a bit more physically possible by bulking out this area here, and yeah, making it look a little bit more natural, and added in some coarse dirt and just general slabs and stairs, a few texture changes here and there, and replaced the diorite that was here with andesite, just because I'm not a big fan of how diorite looks, and I like how andesite looks, so I thought that was a good decision. And then built up this mini beach here a little bit more, and even added in a campfire, as though somebody has got stranded ashore and they've come and hid in this little cove here and set up a campfire. So I thought that was a nice little detail to add in. But then if we continue on down the river here, I'll just do a quick turn around. Looks a little better from the other angle. I think I might still make a few changes on this side, but happy with the other side. And yeah, you can see I've actually carved out the little section through here, connecting it up to the other side, which didn't take too long, honestly. I actually used stone tools, didn't have 30 levels to do a diamond shovel enchantment, and didn't really want to waste a bunch of iron, so yeah, did this all with stone. Didn't take too long though, it wasn't really that bad. And you can see there is the addition of a waterfall here, which that's what I've got to work on now. So all I've really done at the moment is hollow out a little hole there and place a water bucket down, and let it flow on down into the river. Happy with how the waterfall itself looks, but the terrain surrounding it doesn't particularly make a lot of sense at the moment. With our landscaping here, I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible. So with the waterfall, we need to think, what would it look like if this were to be real life? And with that in mind, we're going to make some changes here, doing one at a time so I can walk you through my thought process for this. So the first thing I've done is replaced all of the dirt behind the waterfall with stone, as that would have been washed away over time by the gushing water, and we've also got a little bit here and there around the edges. Next up, we're adding in some other stone blocks to try and roughen this area up a little bit, as it wouldn't be completely smooth with stone. There would be some jagged edges and parts of the terrain wouldn't be quite as neat as it was before. So we've just got some cobble and some andesite kind of dotted in here and there from where maybe parts of the tree have fallen into the water, or a little bit of rocks have flown off to the side and left their mark there. So that's what I'm going with for that one. And then I've also done a little bit of cobble and andesite behind the waterfall itself, but keeping it mainly as stone, as the water is going to have quite an impact on that rock behind there, so it's going to need to be nice and smooth for the most part. But yeah, that's what I've done on this side. And then if I just hop over real quick, you can see I've also laid out a few stone blocks over on the other side from where maybe parts of the mountain above, this is more of a hill really, but have fallen down the waterfall and kind of laid to rest over on this shore over here. And then I've also done a little bit of that underneath the water. Lastly, we need to think about where the water is actually coming from. So for that, we need to head up there. Probably should have started recording whilst I was already up there. Okay, let me just climb up real quick. There was a creeper just above here somewhere, so I'm going to have to hop in a little bit just so I don't get dropped on and blown up. So up here you can see I've just hollowed out the area to be a bit bigger to make this little cave of sorts, which is the kind of midpoint of where the water is actually coming from. There is a source that we are not going to do anything with really, mainly because this mountain slash hill we're actually building in is incredibly thin and kind of oddly shaped, so I can't really build a natural source for it. So we're just going to pretend that it's like coming from underground somewhere. Maybe I could even go get some soul sand from the nether so we could see some bubbles going on at the back, but that's a very, very minute detail that we don't really need to add. It's getting a little bit dark, so I just place a couple torches down temporarily so you guys can actually see. That should be fine. So yeah, you can see I've just kind of texturized this whole place, adding in our usual cobble and andesite, as well as some mossy up here, as it wouldn't really get too mossy on the waterfall itself. It's too fast flowing, but because this is sitting here a little bit, it's got the chance to actually corrode some of the stone, so I thought we'd chuck a little bit of that in up here. I thought I heard a sploosh whilst I was recording that clip. The creeper did try and drop on me. How very dare you, sir? I'm kind of stuck up here a little bit, but yeah, for the most part I might make a few tweaks here and there off camera, but we are done with our waterfall and we can now move on to doing some more of this river. I think I just saw one of my bees on this island all the way over here away from the house. I don't quite know why he's going this far out just to get pollen, but I guess that's just how dedicated the bees are living above me. Okay, he's deciding to cross the ocean. I don't think you're going to find any flowers out on the iceberg, buddy. You might want to come back sometime soon. I'm going on a rescue mission because I feel like he may be lost, and bees do not do well in water, so if you could just land in my boat, that would be great. Come on. Yep. No, can bees not go in boats? I honestly have no idea. Okay, just follow me and we'll head back home. This guy really is not listening. He just wants to go his own way. I don't quite know what he has in mind, but for right now, we're going to call him a goner, and maybe we'll see him back at the hive someday soon. Okay, so we have a bit of a bee crisis going on right now, and by that I mean all of my bees have disappeared. I can't see any of them flying around at the moment, when usually I see like a good 5 at all times. But all of these hives are empty. I haven't long harvested from them, to be honest, so that could be why. But yeah, I don't know where my bees have gone. The only thing I can think is either they've gone astray like that guy over there, or they've taken a dip in the water, which is never really good for bees. So hopefully I haven't lost them all. If I have, it's not really the end of the world, but I kind of like this house for all of the bees flying in and out. But yeah, if you guys could shine some light onto what's going on here, that would be very much appreciated. Still no sign of the bees, which honestly kind of sucks because I loved having them around, but I think it's just a case of their pathfinding being rubbish and they've managed to drown themselves in the water, or damage themselves in the water I should say, and get lost like that other one did. So yeah, a little bit annoying, but I suppose it's not the end of the world. Maybe sometime in the future we can rework the upstairs into something else, but for now I'm going to leave it, and yeah, we're going to continue focusing on the river, and I've actually made a few changes. The first one is our docking station over here, which also functions as a little bit of a fishing hut. I'm trying to get a good angle of this, but I can't really seem to. So it's just a very, very small thing. I will get in my boat here, and we've got a little ladder coming up there, placing them on the trapdoors, which I think looks quite neat. And then if we go upstairs, you can see I've got a little seating area with a lamp. This is, or a fence post with a lantern on top, but I've actually pushed an armor stand into it, or pushed it into an armor stand I should say. Looks a little bit different, I quite like that. Tripwire hook to rest my fishing rod on, and we can put our fish all in the barrel here. Let's see if we can get lucky. Probably not. I'm not going to sit here all day, but maybe we can catch our first fish on camera here. Oh, one's coming. What's it going to be? A mending book, hopefully? Nope, just a raw cod. Anyways, let's hop in the boat and I can show you the other things that I've changed. I don't think I've done too much with the landscaping side of things. I've just added in a couple of structures. So we had that first one back there, and then I've put in a little bridge here, which I think looks quite cool, especially when you're going underneath it with the boat. We'll just pull over to the side here and hop out so we can get a better look at it. I'm using the trick where you put a fence gate next to a wall block, which will then like make it go down to the wall level and then raise up a bit, which I think looks really nice, especially for bridges. So yeah, nice little bridge design, so I can also cross across this way if I don't feel like taking the river. Just spin around here and continue on down. I think I made a couple of changes to the mountain, but oh, I keep calling it a mountain, to the waterfall in the hill, but I cannot remember what. It's nothing too important. Haven't done anything with this. That's what I've got to do next. But then over here is the villagers docking station where we can pull up, leave out the boat, get out of the boat, leave it there, and then just let everyone know in the village that we've arrived. We can ring the bell, and yeah, they know to expect me. So what I've got to do now is basically make the rest of the river look a lot more interesting, and I think all I'm going to do is copy what we've got over at the pond here, so adding in some sugarcane and some crops and maybe a little bit of coarse dirt and path blocks where it seems right to add that in. And yeah, of course we'll just coat the whole bottom part of it with seagrass and kelp. I may add a couple of rock formations in, I'm not too sure at the moment, we'll just have to see how it goes. But this would usually be the type of thing I would time-lapse with replay mod, but because that is not available for 1.15 at the moment, I really hope it is soon because I miss it. And I don't have a secondary machine to record a time-lapse on with my cam account. If there's a way around that where I don't need like a whole nother computer or laptop to record it, please let me know, because we could do that for the meantime before replay mod is released for this version. But I can assure you, as soon as that is available for 1.15, the videos are going to start looking so much better. They will basically be put together the same way my Techtopia ones are. So yeah, something to look forward to, but for right now, all I can really give you is a jump cut. Is this much seagrass really necessary from a single bone meal? I feel like we could do with a lot less. At the moment I'm having to place one, break a whole bunch, and yeah, rinse and repeat. All I really need to do now is add in the seed pickles. Now my plan was, as I think I said, to wait for a wandering trader to show up with a coral trade so that I could regrow them continuously, but I have managed to go through like 4 or 5 wandering traders now and none of them have that trade, so I think what I'm going to have to do is actually get a silk touch enchantment. Now luckily enough, if I just grab a pickaxe out of here, head over to our enchanting table, you can see the next enchantment in line is going to be silk touch, so that's it, guaranteed. The only issue is I don't have any diamonds, so I think I'm gonna go on a real quick caving expedition and yeah, just get at least 3. Well, would you look at that, I have been mining for a whole, what is that, 20 blocks maybe, and I found them already, so thankfully I won't be down here forever. Got my Fortune 3 pickaxe that we got last episode, or in the live stream I should say, and looks like a good chunk here, a group of 8 of them, which gives me a total of, I'm gonna say, 17. 20, not bad at all. Now I know I'm gonna get silk touch on this at least, so honestly I don't really care what comes with it. I just realized I need some lapis. That should be in this chest here. Yep, thank you very much. Yeah, so I'd rather have unbreaking over efficiency just so it lasts a bit longer, but we're definitely gonna get silk touch. That's all that really matters. With unbreaking 3, absolutely perfect. Well, nearly perfect. Efficiency would have been good, but hey, let's not get too greedy. I now need to find a coral reef biome. Now we did find one last time on the way to the jungle, but that's like 7,500 blocks away and I don't really want to go there if I can help it. I'm thinking I might head that direction and hope I find another one a bit closer to home on the way. Oh boy. Yep. I had to come all the way out to the 7,500 block one. I just couldn't find one on the way, but it wasn't too bad. I pretty much just held the W key the entire time. But whilst I'm here, I'm thinking I'm actually going to get a little bit more than just one piece of coral here, as I don't really want to come back here for a 3rd time, to be honest. I just saw a bee go into this nest. good to know at least one of them still alive, I suppose. But anyway, the sea pickles have now been placed, and I've only done them in the pond here for two reasons really. One, it's going to be so many sea pickles if I do the whole of the river, and two, I don't honestly think it would look that good just having patches of light throughout the whole thing, so just sticking to the pond for this one, and we should be able to see what it looks like when it gets to nighttime because the sun is currently setting, so yeah, should be nice and illuminated. It is indeed looking very nice if I do say so myself, but now I've got to show you the whole of the river, which is pretty much done at this point, so let me go sleep and we can check out what I've done. Before we actually head out into the water, I just kind of want to explain what I've done here with all of the crops going around the outside, because it's probably not something you'd pick up on without stopping and looking at it. So pretty much throughout the whole of the river we have these little patches of coarse dirt here with some path blocks and where all of the crops are, and that's kind of what I'm imagining to be just some fertilized ground allowing for these crops to actually grow. So I've only done it in a few areas, which you'll notice when we actually sail around, and then for the rest of the part it's pretty much just bone mealing the sides and underneath with some kelp there, and yeah, some sugarcane and that sort of stuff. So anyway, for one last time this episode, let's take a row around in the boat. I know I said that was going to be the last ride, but I just can't help myself. We're going to go around the opposite way this time, and I know it may not look like a lot what we've done today, but stuff like this really takes quite a lot of time, and I'm sure we'll continue to do other stuff like this, like throughout the whole river. I mean, the river doesn't stop at the end there, it carries on. We can do other things, and that could be something we do in streams or maybe another project in a video. But yeah, for what we've done today, I'm actually really happy with it. You guys will have to let me know how you think I did with all of this. I don't landscape that often, so it's still a fairly new subject for me, but yeah, really enjoyed making the episode. We're not ending off just yet. There is one last thing I have to do quickly. And that is to name our parrot here that we got last episode, and he is going to be called Peepit, which was a suggestion from Captain Grape, so thank you for that one. I'm not actually going to put a name tag on him because I only have one name tag and 3 animals to name. We got Sting, Peepit, and Onyx outside our horse. Yep, there he is. And since Sting here was the first one we got, we're going to put the name tag on him. So there you go, Sting. Your name doesn't quite make as much sense anymore now all the bees have gone from upstairs, but there we go. That's just the way it is. I'm sure I'll fix that at some point or another, or figure out what the problem was. But guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I really hope you did enjoy watching, messing up my outro. Thank you ever so much for doing that, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.